Welcome to Transformation with Martinet. Martinet Emmons is a transformational life coach who broke free from childhood abuse, sexual trauma, and overcame cancer to become a powerful force of healing and hope for others. Martinet describes traumatic events as fierce emotional tsunamis. They can leave impending doom and destructive tidal waves of emotions that hit you when you least expect it. Martinet helps her clients dive into the depths of their trauma and pain as she stands fiercely advocating for them to shine a light on those experiences and find the lesson in the pain. She serves as a beacon of hope that guides you to see the strength, lessons, and purpose that can be born from the pain. You can feel alive with purpose again when you awaken your dormant strength, step into your power with a sense of peace, and discover a new wave of hope with the right tools and support. Martinet and her guests are here shining their lights today through empowering stories of hardship and transformation to inspire you to find hope and to see that there is a beautiful blue ocean of serenity, happiness, and fulfillment in your future. Transformation with Martinet starts now.
Welcome back, everyone, to Transformation with Martinet, where we overcome everything and compromise nothing. For those of you who may be new to my show is every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and my show is all about hope. The guests that I invite on my show are similar to me. We all believe that us as humans, we are resilient and we can get back up from anything. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome my guest today, Gresson Peiffer, and she has quite the unique story. Very young woman at 29, and wow, I mean, powerful, unique story. So welcome, Gresson. Please introduce yourself.
Hello. Well, I'm Gresson, like you said, 29, from Belgium.
Yeah.
I've been already quite through a lot for my age.
Mm-hmm.
But, I see it as a gift right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you talk about in your book, you have a new book out, and you talk about in your book about having an awakening. And most people, at least that I have come across in my life, usually it's much later in life that happens, usually like a menopause age. And as you know, I interviewed somebody on here not that long ago. Her name is Olivera Milikovic. And she had an awakening at age 38. And hers was at the onset of menopause, which is very young at that age, but still, that's when it happened for her. So what does this look like for someone of your age?
Well, it's kind of, I always knew that I was meant to inspire, but I never really gotten the chance.
Okay.
To. But now I know why, because, you first need to get the dark moments, the experiences in your life when all the lessons come up. And for me, that started already when I was going to preschool or something. They were looking at me like, who is she? Black hair, a little darker color. They're not used to that race here in Belgium. They looked at me like, she isn't a Belgian, and she had a different energy, and that's why they ignored me. They didn't want it to play with me. And
that's so hard when you're little.
Yeah.
I
didn't understand, and throughout my life it has been, the theme of my life, acceptance. Because in high school, it was more of the less the same. They all had, they all had those cliques, all small little groups. But then I was like, where the hell did I fit in?
Right.
And I was like, it's just school. I was just focused on getting my degree. I didn't pay that much attention. But
Mm-hmm.
I ended up letting them, helping them with their homework, just
Mm-hmm.
to like fit in, people please,
Yeah.
and looking back now, I am like, why did I do that?
Yeah. Well, I think it doesn't matter where we're born, whether raised or anything like that,
No,
fitting in,
no,
acceptance, belonging,
yeah,
it is like at the heart of our soul
yes,
to fit in. So, how did that make you feel as a little girl? Like, just especially little, like preschool and kindergarten.
yeah,
And to me, middle school was
yeah,
torturous. High school, not much better. So,
yeah.
but how did you navigate those times?
Well, it was hard.
Mhm.
Even speaking in front of class, those moments,
Right.
I really was scared. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, what are they going to think of me now? I was like,
Right. Right.
eh. They're gonna see me insecure. They're gonna see me like this, all in the
Mm-hmm.
spotlight. I
Yeah.
never wanted to be in the spotlight. I was always
Right.
like the side type, because I didn't want something shallow. I wanted something more, more deeper
Mm-hmm.
connections.
Mm-hmm.
And I never found those. Yeah.
Even so young,
Yeah.
I one of my colleagues, she had posted something on Instagram or something, and it was something to
Yeah.
the especially introverted
Yeah.
persons more like
Yeah.
small talk. Oh no, I don't want anything to do with small talk. i want
Yeah.
i want connection. I want
Yeah.
to I want to be around people that inspire me and I can
Yeah.
inspire,
Yeah.
and true real
Yeah.
life conversations, not this,
Yeah.
oh, he's
No.
cute, she's cute, just all these silly little things that we do in school.
Yeah.
It's like something more. Yeah. So
Yeah. Right.
how did you, like, so you got through high school,
Yeah.
you decided to just take your lessons and everything and work really
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you graduate high school. What's next?
I dropped into college,
Mm-hmm.
and that was more of the same thing. If we had to
Mm.
do teamwork, I was shut out like something. Nobody wanted to team up with me. I was like,
Mm.
okay, there I go again. There's the curse.
Yeah, gosh, I
It
do,
was
I
like, yeah.
understand. I always felt like that too, like I would never fit in. And I remember being like super young, and
Yeah.
I'm not positive how, we've talked, but I'm not positive how
Yeah.
you grew up. But I grew up in a very,
Yeah.
well, I was sexually molested by 3 different men before I was
Mhm.
9. And I was
Whoa.
also
Yeah.
physically hurt by my father. So I wasn't really in a safe place
Yeah.
at home. And then I would
Yeah.
go to school, and that was also painful.
Speaking of
So I
fathers,
understand. Hmm.
yeah,
Tell me
speaking of
about your dad.
fathers, oh
Yeah,
man, he
tell
was
me.
so dominant.
Hmm.
I think I was like open, energetic, and I may have triggered something in him because he was always angry. He said, "Don't
Mm,
move." I was like, "I'm a child. I'm supposed to move around."
of course.
And every time I did that, I was like, mm, I got scared. I got
Yeah.
scared. I had to be silent. Silent. I
Hmm.
was like, for what? The silent treatment?
Yeah, it's a being a parent. I know you're not there yet. Being a
Hmm.
parent can be very
Yeah.
challenging. Sometimes all you want is
Yeah.
quiet, but at the same
Yeah.
time, kids are normally, they're playful, they're
Yes.
happy, they're exuberant, and they should be able to express that. Not us like, oh,
Yes.
just shh. It's not supposed to be like that. So like, so if we talk about
Yeah.
school wasn't easy, home
Yeah.
wasn't easy, how did you start to find your place in the world?
Well, it's hard to remember,
Mm-hmm.
because I kind of suppressed the things that I felt back then.
Mm-hmm. Well, you did really good actually a few minutes ago. Just like, if I need to be quiet and calm down, and then I do, and then he's still not talking to me,
Yeah.
what do I do? And
Yeah.
and even like, I commend you
Yeah.
at like a young age,
Mm.
knowing that, hey, this isn't normal.
Mm-mm.
There's something wrong here,
Yeah.
because I remember being at a training event. I want to say it was 2019, and our master coach was
Mm-hmm.
doing this process on
Mm-hmm.
one of my colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
And she wondered, she goes, why did this happen to me? I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand what was wrong with me. And he
Yeah.
said, I would encourage you to look more of what was wrong with him. Maybe your
Yes.
light was just too bright, right?
Yes.
So
Right.
it sounds like you knew at that age, you were normal and there wasn't anything
Yeah.
wrong with you.
No, there wasn't. It's
Right.
just the conditioning made me
Mm-hmm.
think there was.
Right.
It was. Yeah, it was crazy. Even
Mm-hmm.
even at work now, if I apply for a job, they
Mm-hmm.
probably suspect Pfeiffer, a German.
Uh-huh.
They probably suspect someone with blonde hair coming in, but no, she has black hair.
Yeah.
Someone said that. What is your background? And then I thought, does it matter? No,
Right.
it doesn't.
No, it's
But
your skill
now,
set that matters for a job.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But now I'm getting that pattern, that belief out of my system
Mm-hmm.
because it's a blockage.
Right.
It's a blockage. I'm blocking myself from my own abundance. It's myself with that
Yeah.
belief. I'm already projecting it to someone else. I'm already projecting it, letting it say out to the universe, that energy. It's,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had somebody, I was really blessed in a lot of ways. When I was in my early 20s, I went to work for this
Yeah.
attorney that was very spiritual, very
Yeah.
metaphysical. And we would meditate, we would do all these different
Mm-hmm.
things. And I remember he used to take us these really fancy lunches that I couldn't afford.
Yeah.
And one of his colleagues came with us at one point, and I remember just talking about like men and dating, and just saying
Yeah.
something like, all men want is these tiny little skinny things. And I wasn't an overweight person or anything, not that that's wrong with anything there, but I wasn't.
No.
And I remember him saying, well, if that's what you believe, that's what you're bringing to you. If you're
Yeah.
always believing that men just want a size 2, well, those are the men you're going to bring into your life.
Yeah.
So once I started believing better about what I am and believing more in myself,
Yeah. Right.
things just opened up a bit more, and I started meeting men that were more, for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's all in what you think, and you can call in all the wrong things as
Yes.
well. Yeah,
Yes. You create your own reality.
you do. You do, for sure. Yeah. Um, so you get through high school, you go to
Yeah.
college and everything. We're going to take a break in a few minutes,
Yeah.
but what
Okay.
happened from college to just a little bit before we go, before the awakening happened? What was going on right there between college and the awakening?
I think it must have been a few years ago at work. I met somebody that I had a great connection with. Now I know it's a spiritual connection, but I didn't know then.
Mm-hmm.
It just clicked. We talked about stuff. We
Mm-hmm.
agreed on some things. I thought, there's something in there, some potential for a kind of friendship.
Mm-hmm. So did you kind of see her as somebody who could teach me as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
And she had that boundary, like a mentor type
Mm-hmm.
and nothing more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this person, like, they always say that
Yeah.
the right teacher comes in when you're ready.
Yes.
When the student is ready, the teacher comes. All right. Okay.
Definitely.
So we're going to take a break, and when we come
Yeah.
back, we'll talk more about her and then start
Yeah.
leading into
Okay.
what brought you to an amazing awakening.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Transformation with Martinet, where we overcome everything and compromise nothing. My guest today is Gresson Peiffer, and we've been talking about transformation, awakenings, and belonging, acceptance, and all the things that we all crave so much as humans. So, Gresson, when we broke, we were talking about an awakening that you had and a teacher that came into your life. Do you want to tell us a little bit about her and then how that led to your awakening?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we had a good bond, but suddenly something happened. Like, she got a little bit distant. She had put a wall up. And I noticed it because I felt it in the energy. She didn't have to say anything. I felt it because it was like a spiritual connection. I started to pick up that energy. And back then, I didn't know it was about the energy. I just knew intuitively that there was a wall. And then suddenly she pushed me away. And that triggered me. All of those stuff that I've been through, high school, preschool, suddenly, boom. I was like, great spirit. I was like, great. Are you slapping me in the face? Do you want me to confront it all right now? Yeah, that's an awakening for me. Confronting everything that you have been suppressing, realizing that you are creating your own reality, and that the conditioning and the fears and everything are all just illusions. It's all part of the learning process. It's all a journey. And some say spiritual awakenings are painful, but to me, it has been a gift for a new beginning.
I love that. I love the way that you say that. A gift to a new beginning. And a lot of people don't see it that way. Like they look at the traumas and things that happened to us like, oh man, what about me? And really it's for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So please continue.
Yeah, it was like, a shock at first, overwhelming, all those different emotions popping up. And then there was spirit guiding me to videos on YouTube, like meditations. I came up with, I did them every night to elevate my energy at first, to elevate my energy, to get the positive vibes out. And also to increase my intuition, because I knew I had intuitive abilities. You only need to practice them. It's like jogging every morning in the park. You need to keep on meditating or something else, like I don't know what else people do, jogging or biking. It's different for everyone,
Right.
Then I started to connect with my inner child. I was like, oh, that was a direct confrontation with myself. I saw her sitting in that corner, like sad and everything. It was hard at first to confront that. So because that was me before.
So that was like, she was kind of sitting back for you to notice her.
Yeah. She was waiting for me to notice her. Because I have been a people pleaser. I have been given to anyone else. Right. Because I knew what it is to get nothing.
Right. Gotcha.
And there I got all the answers, all of the insights that I needed through her. Right. You first need to tend to yourself, because I was neglecting myself, I didn't know about all the things that I was suppressing. I ignored it by giving to someone else, And then it's during the pandemic, we had to work from home, then
Mm-hmm.
all of the things suddenly became quiet because all of, at, you don't notice it when you're working at work. All the noise around you, you keep going, you keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
I think lots of people have had that confrontation during the pandemic.
There was, I think, a lot of emotion stirred up because so much of
Yeah,
us, whether we were having to homeschool, whether we just
yeah,
had our spouse around all the time. And, for me, that
yeah,
was hard. Having kids
yeah,
around, having my spouse around all the time. It's like, oh my God, the house is going to swallow me up, you know? So it definitely brings up a lot of triggers. It brings up a lot of things. And
yeah,
I think that at your age to actually realize that we first need to tend to ourselves is
yeah,
amazing. Had I got that at your
yes,
age, I'd be way ahead of the game now. I've just always, especially as a mom, I've always put
yeah,
everybody ahead of myself, especially my
right,
kids. And it was
right,
only recently that I came to this realization, like, you know what? I'm important too. And now is
yes,
my time. My kids
yep,
are almost raised. It's my time. It's
yes,
my time. I am ready for
yes,
taking care of myself and realizing all the gifts that I've got and all the
yeah,
trauma I've been through, because
yeah,
now I can be a source of light for someone else.
yes,
And it sounds
right,
like that's exactly what you got at a very young age. Yeah. So like when
yes,
you talk about competition with yourself, what do you
yeah,
mean by that? Like um because like I
mm-hmm,
in my coaching practice, I do
mm-hmm,
an exercise where I have my clients
yeah,
talk to their older, wiser self, say 20 years older than them.
yeah,
And then they can also talk to their younger self
yeah,
when they want to heal something.
yeah,
Have you worked with any of that energy? Have you worked with any of that to
yes,
help heal?
yes. Through meditations, I talk to her
Mm-hmm.
like those feelings are done. Those are over. Because
Mm-hmm.
if we don't heal, we bring it
Mm-hmm.
into our future relationships.
Right.
We keep blocking ourselves. And I keep saying to her every week now, it doesn't matter what happened. What happens is we know now you're unique. You're made
Yeah.
to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
You're not made to follow the crowd. You're
Right.
you need to do your own thing, and the people who resonate with you will come no matter how long it takes.
Right. And that's like when we're young, like you were talking about in the beginning, you want to
Yeah,
fit in, you want acceptance, you
yeah.
want belonging. And now you've gotten to the point where I don't care about any of that.
I
I
don't
want to
need that
follow my
anymore.
old path. Exactly. Yeah. And being an outsider now doesn't feel so bad to me. I don't think it does to
No,
you either. Hmm.
no, it doesn't. It has its
Yeah,
benefits.
for sure. For sure. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
there's when I was being hurt at home,
yeah.
I've often told people that I always saw, it's almost like I was in a cave
Mhm.
and I saw just like these just little cracks of light coming in the
Yeah,
cave. And to me, that was
yeah,
God, or, higher power, however anybody looks at that. I
yeah.
always
Right.
knew I'd be okay. Did you have
Yeah.
that sense too?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Before, but I just thought it was a coincidence,
Uh-huh.
and I thought it was pretty amazing. But then
Mm-hmm.
I see now I have guides
Uh-huh.
I can lean upon. I can trust them. They're guiding me through this awakening. I was like, wow, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We're all the universe. We just need to unlock that potential. And
Mm-hmm.
apparently now it's my time.
Right.
they said
Right.
they said you have been giving all the time. Now it's your time to receive. Just hold back. That's what I did with that. Yeah, let's call her a mentor,
Mm-hmm.
because that's how she has been perceiving herself.
Uh-huh.
That's what I've been doing. I stopped, and I had that abandonment fear. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I kept initiating, but now I don't have that fear anymore because I was aware of it and I worked through it. Now
Right.
I don't have it because I don't feel the need anymore to contact. I just decided whatever happens happens.
Right.
If she wants to reconnect, that's fine. If she wants it to fade, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just need to move on because you're blocking yourself. If you stay
Right.
too long in situations that no longer serve, at some point it was starting to get drained. I was starting to get drained, and I was like, what is draining me? At first, I was thinking it was my job, but it wasn't. It was her.
Right. You know, it's interesting how I've always been like a steadfast friend, however
Yeah,
you want to put it, like always the loyal one. I am
yeah,
like a typical Scorpio
yeah,
in that way.
yeah,
I'm fiercely loyal.
yeah,
Um, and when friendships would die or fade out, and I
yeah.
was the only one, I would just push so hard trying to keep these people in my
Yes,
life. And then
yeah,
I finally let that go. I'm like, what am I trying so hard for something that is not
yes.
reciprocated? You
Why?
know?
Yes.
Yeah. But I've also learned that not everybody's supposed to stay in our life all the time. They're here to
No.
teach us something and then we move on.
And then we move on, yes. And
Mm-hmm.
there comes the attachment. We have to let go of those attachments. But
Yes.
sometimes subconsciously, there is something from our past
Mm-hmm.
still wanting to hold on. But then
Yes.
I ask, what for?
Yeah. And if something keeps coming up, though, we do need, I believe, to address
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
and heal that part
right,
of ourself that is missing whatever
right.
it is that we're
Release it.
missing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Right. Okay. So she was basically just in your life a little bit just to
yeah,
show you kind of how to stand on your own.
yeah, right,
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
right.
Okay. So we're going to take a break and then we'll
Yeah,
come back. And actually, before we break, how
yeah.
about the name of your book?
It's sharing my light and healing energy
Right. And we can get it where?
on Amazon
Right on.
as
Okay.
a paperback and ebook.
Yeah, and the ebook, I have the ebook, but the cover is so pretty. I would encourage you, a lot of you, to just
Yeah,
purchase it in the paperback because it's just really pretty. And I mean, Kindles are good now where you can make notes and everything, but it's also kind of
yeah,
nice to have a paper copy to
yeah, right,
write notes and
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll take a break and we'll be back shortly, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back, everyone, to Transformation with Martinet, where we overcome everything and compromise nothing. My guest today, Gresson Peiffer, has been talking about her awakening and just all kinds of good transformational talk here. This is the best place to be. So, when you were doing the healing work, especially after your colleague kind of disappeared,
Mm-hmm.
what happened during this healing process and the triggers that came up and working with that? What happened there?
I let it all out because when we allow the trigger to, let's say, explode, it
Mm-hmm.
gets released and it doesn't go back anymore. But a healing journey isn't straight line.
Mm-hmm.
For example, things can continue to come up when you think you have worked through that already.
Yeah, I know that one well.
But in different situations,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want people to be discouraged. It's just another layer of the onion, let's say, that
Mm-hmm.
pops up.
Right. And it's like the more that you address it and you give it
Yeah,
some tender, loving care, the
yeah,
less it is the next time it comes up.
yes, right,
Yeah, that the
yeah,
significance of it
yeah.
decreases. Um, so
And what I noticed as well is things got easier. I didn't notice it at first, but a new colleague started to approach me.
mm-hmm.
At first, I was afraid because I was like, here we go again. That's going to be the same. That's going to be the same ending. But then I switched my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And then apparently she seemed on the same level as me.
Uh-huh.
She was also spiritual. She started to talk to me about manifestation, and then I said, "How did you know?"
Ah.
She said, "I can read people." I
Mm.
was amazed.
Empath.
And she was the one who said to me, you should be yourself. She was the one who noticed how important the Philippines is to me, my
Mm-hmm.
roots.
Ah, yes.
Because when I got back from my trip, she said, you look like a little child in a candy store. I was like, no one ever noticed that. I was so amazed. She triggered everything that I wanted to hide, like a positive mirror. I think we also had been through the same thing. She is also energetic. She is also, a happy person,
Mm-hmm.
like I have been. But now I'm back to my old self, and
Mm-hmm.
I have her to thank for it.
Hmm.
She has done me a great favor.
Right. You know, what's interesting. I remember one of my very first trainings. This was a long time ago.
Mhm.
And our coach had this exercise where we had to stand next
Mhm.
to each other and look in each other's eyes.
Yeah.
It was for like 3
Oh.
minutes. Oh my word. I mean, talk about scary.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at her and I remember we went into this exercise. I'm like, please
Mhm.
not let it be her. She terrified me. And who did I get? And we are looking at each other, and it was interesting as like time goes on, and it was so hard not to look away because I've had a lot
Yeah.
of abuse in my life, and just like looking
Yeah.
at somebody like that. And I remember like as time went on, it was almost like just like this,
Mhm.
because I know it was safe. I knew she was safe as time went
Yeah.
on. She still scared me, but she
Oh
became,
yeah.
yeah, but she became my coach, and she's actually been my coach ever since then because she
Nice.
saw me, the real me, just
Yeah.
like you're talking about with this person.
Yeah. She saw my soul. She saw my soul.
Yes.
She saw it right through
Mhm.
my facade, because all my
Uh-huh.
life I had that facade,
Yep.
and then knowing someone broke through it, I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that empathic
Yeah.
energy,
Yeah.
when we connect
Right.
with those people that are
And she
supposed to
doesn't,
assist us.
yeah, she doesn't have to say anything. I feel it in her energy.
Right.
There's no doubt about it. But like you
Mhm.
said about the feedback,
Yeah.
it's important to get feedback,
Hmm.
because if we don't know how we come across.
Right.
You may inspire someone,
Hmm.
but you don't even know.
Right.
You do. And then if you say something like hurtful,
Yeah.
yeah, there goes the broken trust, or the faith you once had with that person.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
You
that's
just
really
need to be
important on,
mindful. Yeah.
right. That's so important on so many levels because like the people, especially close and
Yeah.
significant in our lives, we always
Yeah.
have to have this dialogue and this trust to be able to share. If
Yes.
somebody hurt us, we need to say something.
Yeah.
And also, there's feedback on even on social media. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
people are so darn mean. I can't
Yeah.
even believe that. But it's also them, nothing to
Yeah.
do with us. It's just
Nope.
feedback. It's their story coming out.
Unless it triggers us, then we need to find out why.
Very true. Or we triggered them with what we
Yeah.
wrote, right?
Yeah.
Kind of
Right.
a back and forth
Yeah.
thing there, right? So you had mentioned in your book about, well, health and healing.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, that's another thing I commend you at such a young age,
Yeah.
realizing that we really have to take care of our bodies.
Right.
And because I mean, if not, it doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
any success we have, wealth we
Mm-hmm.
have, if our bodies are
Yeah.
not strong and healthy,
Mm-hmm.
we don't go anywhere.
No.
So you were talking about like when you were in the healing process about really
Mm-hmm.
bad headaches. How did you handle
Yeah.
that?
Well, I had the universe again guiding me
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
through a channel called Healing Vibrations. They
Oh,
all have these, like, relaxations,
uh-huh.
like sambas. It's really like a brain massage.
Oh,
I put
I
one of
like the
those.
sound of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I put one of those on,
Uh-huh.
and then instantly it was working my brains. I thought, whoa, this actually works.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a peacefulness and tension
and then
releasing from the head.
and then the block got itself released,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, emotions came out. I was like, what? Those were suppressed emotions. I was really surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Yeah.
every time that I have that, then I'm turning to those instead of medications, because medication suppresses everything again.
Right. Right. There's a place. I mean, there are certain
Mm-hmm.
situations where it's definitely necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there, and I know it was
Yeah.
like the only thing I could get through a time in my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is a place for it, but I understand what you're
yeah.
saying.
Yeah, and they also have like, those videos with for the chakras.
Mm-hmm.
They have like the root chakra, they have the sacral, they have the solar. Each of them has like one video. Every time when I'm feeling like my stomach is a little bit like nauseous, I'm putting
Mm-hmm.
that up, and then it
Mm-hmm.
gets relaxed.
Right.
I get loosened up.
Yeah, that's a really good point. For those
Yeah,
of you who don't know, chakras are energy
yeah,
centers in the body,
yeah.
all different points. Yeah.
But still, at no point they are a replacement for medication. It's if
Mm-hmm.
it's all stress related, if it's stress related, emotional related, you'll figure it
Mm-hmm.
out yourself. You will feel it, what the
Right.
difference is. If it doesn't work instantly, then you know the answer, and you still need to go to the doctor.
Yeah, and it doesn't, like, a lot of answers don't always come right away. We have to be
Yeah, right.
patient, especially when we're addressing ourselves, and
Yeah,
and if we've been ignoring ourselves for so long,
yeah,
that our body's got to learn to kind of trust us again as well.
yes,
So yeah,
so true.
I know full well
Mm-hmm.
that my cancer was resentment.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like my body's way of saying, hey, you got work to do, girl, and you got to get at it.
Yeah,
So I know that you talk about in your book as well as
yeah,
forgiveness of others
yeah,
and forgiveness of yourself. I
yeah,
know, to me anyway, forgiveness of myself
yeah.
has been a whole lot worse or harder than others. How about you?
Yeah. Yeah, I had to forgive myself for
Mhm.
neglecting myself all the time, for
Mhm.
ignoring and letting other people run the show.
Right. Oh, we're all guilty of that. We're all guilty of that.
Yeah, but I'm getting
Yeah.
there. I'm getting
Yeah.
there. You
Yeah.
know.
So I know that you have as well. I
Hmm.
cannot say it, so I'm not going
No.
to say it the way it comes out. The Hawaiian prayer,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah,
powerful. I
that's a
just can't
nice
say
one.
it. I never can
No.
say it right. Hippopono, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah, I know
That
what you
is a
mean.
beautiful,
Yeah.
it helps a lot. It was I'm
Yes.
sorry. Please forgive
Yeah.
me. I
Yes.
can't remember all of it at the moment, but that
Yes.
is a very powerful thing. Even just to
Yeah.
walk around your house and say, I'm sorry,
Yes.
I forgive you, or I forget,
Yeah, right.
whatever it is. I'm sorry, I can't
Yeah.
remember it at the moment. But that is a
But
really
it's a really good
powerful.
one. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
using that
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Every
it is
time I
good.
feel that being stuck again, putting
Hmm.
that one on, and yeah, it helps
Yeah,
release a lot.
yeah. So before we take our
Mm-hmm.
next break, where can people find you? Social media, website, and tell us again about your book and where we can find it.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a page on Facebook, Sharing My Light,
Perfect.
and there they can find updates and everything. I'm putting quotes upon them as well, little teasers.
Okay, excellent.
And they can find my book on Amazon.
Okay, and the name of your book again
Yeah.
is?
Sharing My Light.
Everyone, to Transformation with Martinet, where we overcome everything and compromise nothing. My guest today is Gresson Peiffer, and we've been talking about, well, everything under the sun in transformation. So Gretchen, there is a part of your book here that I thought was
Mm-hmm.
really important, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like a good part of my coaching
Mm-hmm.
practice. You a quote from your book is, I suggest the next time you feel doubtful and unworthy, think about what you have already accomplished and
Mm-hmm.
accept who you are. There's a reason you are made differently. You have to figure out what that reason is and share it with those who need to hear it. So I agree with that. And I know that there's so many like points of like when people start like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that?
Yeah.
You can go back over your life and think, oh, evidence. I did this. I did this. I did this. I did this. I can do that.
Yeah.
So what are your best tips for people who not only young as you, but much older than you, who are maybe at a point in their life that they're like, oh, what's next? How can they get started? What can they do to find their purpose?
First of all, I think figure out what works for you. Like meditating worked for me. Maybe for someone else is listening to music, calm down, walk in nature.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have to be meditation for everyone, but it's a good start point because look at what happened to me. My energy get elevated. My energy has positive vibrations right now. I literally flow through my process. Yeah, that's another thing I was amazed about. I literally flowed through it. I never was like, what's happening? No, I just went with the flow. And I want to encourage people to do that as well. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about yesterday. Just be in the now.
Right. And you know how that's so hard for people.
Yeah.
It's so hard. We worry.
Yeah.
Do you worry anymore?
No.
Okay.
No. And when I do, I just meditate and then 5 seconds, 5 minutes, it's gone.
There you go. There you go. So what can you help? What else can you say about that with people who are worried about tomorrow and even survival?
Well, have patience. Not everyone has the same timeline.
Right.
Look at me.
Right.
I'm turning 30 next month, but I'm still living with my mother. I am not settling yet, and I don't have a driver's license yet. But then I'm asking myself, what for? I had other priorities. I'm just not letting other people commanding my life.
Yeah.
I'm
So
doing my
really,
own
it's
thing.
what matters to you. Yeah, it's what matters to you, what your highest thing. I know that so many people are like, gosh, I don't know what my purpose is. Sometimes, like, not everybody is meant to be. Yeah. Like, not everybody is meant to be a motivational speaker or a coach or a CEO. Not everybody has that kind of purpose. Sometimes it just might be the best mom in the world. Maybe it could be.
And
I don't know. I mean,
sometimes it comes out of nowhere. A year ago, if you would tell me now I would become an author, I would be shocked. Because it wasn't planned. It just came like a gift from the universe. I had all of these insights. And I know some people wait until the process is over and start to write then. But then they don't have an account of what the experience is like. And I thought now I can have both. I can work through my stuff and at the same time write down things to help others navigate through their journey and not wait until it's over.
Yeah.
I would just say, if you're worried about your purpose, allow it to come. Never chase things,
Right. Yeah. Don't chase it, because then it seems like it just keeps running from you.
Yeah. It will come at the right timing when it's meant for you. Someone said, "Whoa, you have such a gift for you to have all of this knowledge now. Why didn't I know this at your age?" And then I said, "You know it now.
Yeah.
You know it. It wasn't too late for you."
Right. Right. Because I know I have stressed on that a lot of times, like, oh my God, I want my quantum leap now. I want everything now. It's that mentality of you want everything now. And it don't work that way.
No.
And once you realize it doesn't work that way, it kind of gives you some peace.
Yeah.
and you just relax into it. You are whatever
Right.
age you are.
Right.
And you're going to get a year older, and you're going to,
Yeah.
just start somewhere
Yeah.
and don't worry about it. Yeah.
Right. And
Right.
yeah, what else can I say? Like, be open-minded, because everyone you encounter is gonna teach you something eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Just be open and receive the lesson, and be grateful for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
even the bad stuff. I can embrace
Right.
them now.
Yeah. So in other
Like
words, like, you're
my,
grateful
yeah,
for what's happened to you.
yeah, right. Like my dad. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if that didn't happen, I won't be sitting here
Right.
teaching others
Mm-hmm.
about awareness with raising their children, that they need to watch out
Mm-hmm.
with what they're doing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I ended up finding my life purpose, and I'll always be grateful for him for that.
Mm-hmm.
I have forgiven him, but
Yeah.
the contact is still, still a little bit difficult. But we'll see later what happens.
Yeah.
Just
And
gonna go, yeah.
we can be, well, what my master coach often says
Mhm.
is, we can't
Mhm.
be grateful for the lesson but hate the teacher.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
isn't a possibility. So I know, like, with my own father, we don't see each other a whole lot, and that's all
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
I am as loving and kind, and I take care of
Yeah.
him however he needs it.
Yeah.
But we don't, like, face to face that often,
No.
and that's
No.
okay. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, it's like last I had a conversation with him. I went into the house, but I
Mm-hmm.
regretted it, because that house is full of the bad vibes, the negative
Mm-hmm.
energy.
Mm-hmm.
Next time, I'm just gonna invite him to drink something, just
Yeah.
outside for a
Yeah.
walk or something. When I
Mm-hmm.
entered that house, it was like, yeah, even though I did a protection
Mm-hmm.
exercise before, it still got to me.
Right. Right.
I also want to address like the protection stuff for empaths, because
Mm-hmm.
everyone is going to be draining your energy. I have accepted that already, that you're going to be attracting lots of vampires in your life, the broken
Mm-hmm.
hearted ones. You're
Right.
all going to attract them, but it doesn't matter. You just need to make sure you're going to be in a high vibrational energy, positive thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
positive emotions, and then you'll be able to, you're gonna be great, you know
Right. That you
just
can
don't
just
let
kind of
them
let
drain
it
your
run through.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just let it run through you.
Yeah.
Not stick in here, but just run through.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And use your discernment. Whatever
Right.
is yours, keep it. If it's not yours, release it.
Right. Very good point.
Yeah.
So, we only have like another minute, but
Okay.
what, if you can tell us briefly, what prompted you to
Yeah.
write the book?
Well, that's a hard one, because it came all of a sudden.
Right. Okay.
It's just like I said before, it's like you have gifts. You can't keep them for yourselves.
Right. Meant to
They are
share
meant to
it.
be shared.
Right.
Because if you don't, you're gonna lose them.
Right. Yeah, I know. Even like with ideas, if you get a download of an idea, if
Yeah.
you don't write it down, it's gone and it's
No.
given to someone else.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
have to take advantage of that opportunity.
Yep. So that's great. I think you're very remarkable for so young and
Yeah.
so aware at such a young age is a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful thing. And I thank you so much for coming on and sharing your wisdom. And how about telling everybody again, name of your book, where they can get it, and any social media you have for them to find
Okay.
you.
Yeah. My title of the book is Sharing My Light and Healing Energy. They can find
Yes.
it on Amazon. And my Facebook page is Sharing My Light. And I just want to thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a very fun talk,
Yeah.
very informative, very enlightening. And
Yeah.
I hope you keep in touch with me, and that,
For
you
sure.
keep sharing your journey, and
For
I'm sure
sure.
we'll connect again.
And who knows, connect for a second book. You never know.
That sounds great. That sounds great. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in to our show today, where we overcome everything, compromise nothing. And we will see all of you next week, 10 a.m., next Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And again, thank you for joining us. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for listening to Transformation with Martinet. Did listening today spark a sense of hope and possibility? Hold on to this feeling and tune in every second and fourth Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific for more inspiring conversations with Martinet and her guests. They will show you there is hope, and you are right where you need to be. Martinet is dedicated to supporting you right where you are while launching you towards promise, passion, and possibility that leads to the fulfilled life your heart aches for. If you're tired of being stuck, schedule a complimentary consultation with Martinet and get on the exciting path towards the life you want to be living. Visit martinetemmons.com and make your appointment today.